Good afternoon, everybody. Hi there, Catboy Steph. Hey, Light. I haven't seen you for a while. How's it going? And hi there, Dom. Now I'm going to be a good streamer today, not forget to switch the game screen on. I haven't forgotten to unmute myself. Hi there, Rye. I'm glad you're enjoying the stream title. I'm honestly more proud of the first part. There it is. There's plenty of time for something to go wrong, but nothing will go wrong. Because I've got my shit together today. I've been to the pharmacy and I've collected all my medications and I'm moisturized, I'm in my lane, I'm flourishing. The Legussy is the spot underneath your knee. Yeah, what is the name for like the back of your knee or like the inside of your like elbows? I don't think there's a word for it. We need to come up with one. Anyway, let's dive straight in some video juego. Now, we're real close to the end of the game, but there is a big dungeon coming up. But the reward for completing that dungeon is we get to meet one of the cuntiest vampires who ever lived. It's called the Popliteal Bossa. Yeah, but that's not like one word, that's two. Hey! Open the door again. I mean, like, one word, like, yeah, there's probably some, like, medical name for, like, your knee or whatever, but you can also just call it your knee. And, like, the same with, I don't know, other parts of the body, too. Alright. Alright, mate. Stop with this. The knee pit. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any immediate complaints about it, but it feels wrong. Knee pit sounds like a Pokemon name.
After my long journey, I finally stood on the threshold of enlightenment. For here was Janos Audrin's mountain retreat, intact and unblemished. The upheaval that would one day topple this ancient edifice had not yet occurred. And while I had no certainty that Janos still lived, this scene boded well. For I presumed that the collapse of the retreat must have followed the ancient vampire's demise. There was only one obstacle. How to reach the balcony suspended at that maddening height, so far beyond my reach. For this was the architecture of winged creatures. The tattered ruins of my wings were of no use. I would need to devise some other means into that mountain.
Hi there, sibling. I'm avoiding saying your name on stream because I don't know whether you want, you want me to say it. So I'm calling you Sib. But yes, welcome, Merle Sib. I can actually set you as a VIP, I think. How do I do that? Yeah, I don't know how to do it. But yeah, I can try and set you as a VIP, I think, and give you a little special badge. Yeah. Well, then my sister's name is Hannah. A little diamond badge. Is that what you get? Like a diamond? Oh. Anyway. What was I doing? I got distracted. I remember now. You can call me Merlsib. That's quite a fun name, I think. Ah, yes. Kind of gross the way that door opens up, I think. Most honoured Merlsib of the Fujo stream. It's got a ring to it, I guess. The sibling of the Merle. Sounds like the name of a book or something, like The Taming of the Shrew. Go to the water. Welcome to the temple that's full of cups of blood. I can't remember what I'm supposed to do here. Oh yeah, I think I have to go and grab... Oh, no. I need a shadow pot first. VIP. Only you can set it though. Right, let me try it then. /VIP. And then... Oh. Right. I landed a new jump at my figure skating lesson today. Congrats. What kind of jump? A triple salco? I know it's like one of the hardest jumps to do. Oh, you just need to watch Yuri on Ice. You'll love it so much, honestly. Where's a shadow Reaver thing? Salco is my fave jump, but I've only got it as a single.
When I'm at a McDonald's,
Called a loop.
until nobody's looking, and then I stick my hand inside the straw dispenser and touch all the straws.
Hi there, Ellie. Hi there, Adel. But yeah, you also, Han, you now have a little purple badge next to your name because I've made you a VIP. And I'm a cat now. Good stuff. Where do I get the Shadow Reaver from? I need it to get past that eyeball. Yes, be honoured. Be honoured. Oh, I need to go out the front, I think. I love the cat version, the peachy. Yeah, I do like this little cat avatar. The only problem is that it's a little bit boring. I'm just, you know, I just look like a basic white girl with pink hair. And cat ears, I guess. And also I've got my different coloured eyes, so you know, there's a little bit of, you know, a little bit of something. But it's not as cool as my demon form, I think. Personally. like the Catgirl version looks like, you know, like a Catgirl OC that, like, you know, a high school or a college student like draws as their first OC. This is Katrina. She's super special. She comes from my favorite TV show. She's actually friends with all the main cast, and she has all of their powers. But also she's a vampire, and like, you know what I mean? Yoink. I'll be taking that. What do we reckon the blood tastes like? I mean, the easy answer's blood, but it honestly looks more like, I don't know. That doesn't look like blood to me. A delicious ragu. Yeah, I can see that. Strawberry Ribena. The wrong Ribena. With chunky bits in. Also, they have all the powers of the main cast, and it's the most powerful. Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, when you're creating your own OC, you've always got to make them like super special. If you're creating like an OC to like fit in with a pre-existing like series. Where does this lead? Oh, most likely into the next room, right? Chunky is such a horrible word when applied to fluids. Yeah.
The mountain's interior was hollow, I discovered, and graced with soaring architecture unique to its creators. As with the outer facade, these balconies and galleries could only be reached by those gifted with flight. With only my ruined wings to carry
My ruined wings.
towering
Oh,
mountains
poor
seemed
Raziel.
impossible. The object of my quest lay just beyond my grasp. For here, suspended at the apex of the chamber, was the threshold that surely led to the great vampire himself.
I think,
I didn't know whether Janos Ordrin was the monster depicted in the stronghold, or one of the noble creatures memorialized among the ruins of the ancient vampires. But I didn't care. Demon
I
or
didn't
angel,
care.
He alone held the key to my destiny.
So, I think Janos Ordrin's stronghold here. It's getting a low score for accessibility. If you can't fly, you just can't go upstairs. Yeah, in Resident Evil 9, like the buckets of blood, honestly, like a lot of them just look like buckets of meat. Why did I do this? What was this helped me? Thank you. Free. Oh, right. I see. I need that door open so that I can grab this cup of blood and walk it over to the other fountain. I'm sort of just going off like muscle memory for how to solve these puzzles. Like, if I seem to be walking in a random direction, that's probably why. It's because I remember how to solve the puzzle and not why I'm solving it. Maybe the Sarafan priests are just angry because Jane Austen's building isn't up to accessibility code. Yeah, you know, he's he's not gonna score a diversity win. I mean, as if it weren't bad enough for it not being accessible to non-flying people. It's not even wheelchair accessible because the staircases are all A, made out of blood, and B, require a lot of walking about to even manifest in the first place. And then there's staircases. Kain rolling up in his vampire wheelchair. This cutscene goes on a bit, doesn't it? Kain is sense and Raziel is sensibility. Right. I want this active for a shortcut later. Really, I think... Whoops. But yeah, how's everyone's day going? My day's been pretty fun because I don't have to do a lot of work at the moment. Given that I'm being made redundant, everyone's sort of acknowledged that there's no point anyone doing any work at the moment because a lot of the products that they're going to be carrying forward aren't going to be aren't things that I can really contribute to. So I'm just left with like nothing to do at the moment. Stairs of Blood would be a killer band name. It would be pretty good. Oh. Wind Reaver again. Probably not doing this in the most efficient way imaginable. Their tribute act, Ramps of Bile. Staircase of Blood. Yeah, so my day's been pretty good. No real work to do. Went out to go and collect all my medications and stuff. That all went surprisingly smoothly. And then playing some video games with all of you. I also saw that Tomodachi Life is out now, so tomorrow we can play some more of that, which I'm really looking forward to because I had a lot of fun on that stream. Ran some errands, ran myself with a bag of the new cookie dough M&Ms. Oh, though, like, I felt for a second I got confused with like the crunchy like M&Ms. Cookie dough M&Ms sound delightfully decadent. Yeah, I hope the profanity filter is still gone, although knowing Nintendo, it probably won't be gone. But, we'll still have fun with it, somehow. We'll just couch everything in euphemism and innuendo. I'm pleased to report that it's still gone. Oh, this is huge. That's huge, then. Oh, we're going to have such a good time. Okay, well, we need to, like, start theory crafting who else we can have on the island, because we've got Light and L from Death Note and Misa. I might, yeah, I mean, I'll keep Misa there. I think femboy Misa is you know, a cutie patootie. But I want to start. I want to add Griffith. I want to add some like Metal Gear characters, like maybe Raiden and Vamp. This is kind of chill, you know, honestly, just walking around, like, transporting cups of blood around. Yeah, Guts, Griffith, and Casca could be a fun little trio, but I was also, that's one of the things I was thinking about. I don't want to create characters who are purely going to be like, you know, mostly going to, you know, like, if I add Griffith, I want to add Guts, and I obviously want them to be dating. But, you know, I don't want to create too many characters like that where there's not going to be, like, interactions between them, you know? Like, I don't want every character to basically just be promised to some other character. Oh, shit! I didn't mean to fall off here. Ah, well, luckily I can get up nice and quick. I think I actually need to go down and get the Light Reaver anyway. I think they weighed up the choice between having no profanity filter and sharing screenshots and clips and chose not to add a profanity filter. It's easy enough to take screenshots and clips off the Switch via USB as I did earlier. Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad they, you know, they didn't decide to kind of like, you know, you know. Oh, I needed the Wind Reaver. What am I doing? You know, I'm all for like games, you know, being made, you know, safe and playable for youngsters, but at the same time, it's like sometimes, you know, adults want to have some fun with a game as well. And yeah, we should be trusted to show some discretion about, you know, I'm not gonna like post my clips of like Tomodachi life, you know, to like, you know, I don't know, like my you know, my like cousin or whatever, like, you know, kid, you know, some kid I know. I'm still chuffed that I can make my me non-binary and asexual. Yeah, that's also really cool. Like, you know, adding in, you know, those kind of options so that, you know. I'm still upset with the lack of heterochromia, obviously, because like I think it's cool, and I'm always gutted when character creators don't include that kind of thing. Right, what was this for? Those goblets of blood seem a great security system until someone using a menstrual cup waltzes through the whole thing. That'd be like a high-level burglary technique. Doing now? Where am I going? On the Spanish version, we can make non-binary me's, but we don't get neutral pronouns. Instead, the game uses he, him. Aw. That's lame. What the oh? Why am I opening these doors? I can't remember. Yeah, that's really lame. The Spanish version does that. I mean, I don't know enough about Spanish to know what would be, you know, like a solution to that. Nice. Now, annoyingly, I need to go down here, or even further down, actually. Get the Wind Reaver. This kind of puzzle solving is like so much more streamlined in Defiance. It's not even funny because you can just switch the Reaver at will, like between whatever forms you want. And honestly, like, it makes a huge difference to how much more I mean, very few of the puzzles actually really require you to switch between them that much, but it makes the game feel so much more like streamlined. A lot easier, I will say, as well. You have different kinds of puzzle. Here it's like, how do I get this object up to where I need it to be, or what have you. A lot of the features were streamlined. Yeah, the combat being one of the most prominent ones. Like, Defiance's combat isn't great in terms of like games, but it's so much better than this one. Woohoo! I hear the writing was streamlined. Oh, the writing in and like the plot, like the way it delivers the plot to you in Defiance is amazing. It doesn't make it's very difficult to follow because it's a time traveling game and they don't really explain to you what era anyone's in at any given time. That's sort of, I think, intentional. Oh shit. Where do I get? Oh, I can get blood from down there. But yeah, once again, like every time Kain and Raziel talk to one another, it's amazing. Like, oh, what's Kain's voice actor called? Raziel's is Michael Bell, I think. They churn out some incredible performances. But yeah, like, if this game is like a bad Legend of Zelda game, then Defiance is like a bad Devil May Cry game. But I think, like I said yesterday, even a bad Devil May Cry game is still a really good game. Simon Templeman, that's it. That's your one. Right, gotta go and get the wind raft again. Yeah, the honestly, the ending to Defiance as well is like, it is absolute cinema. Like, I was biting my hand watching, like in a good way, like watching the last cutscenes of Defiance, because it is just like, oh, it is pure Fujo pill. I don't know why I'm bringing this blood with me, but I am. And I honestly can't wait to share the ending of Defiance with you all, because, like, it's going to be a moment. Go take my Fujo pills, BRB. Looking forward to revisiting Defiance through a Fujo lens. Like, I don't know whether I'm, like, biased or whatever, but it becomes difficult to see it through any other lens, IMO. Anyway, Rise just left, just as we're about to meet Janos Audron himself. The cuntiest vampire. Janos, yes, voiced by Renee Aubergenois. I'm opening a energy drink for myself. Right. In we go. The hip sway on his walk. Who decorates their house like this? I'm glad the game doesn't spare us a minute of Raziel walking down corridors.
Janos Audron? It is heartening after all these years to hear my name spoken without contempt. Raziel? My child, what have they done to you? I have been dragged through hell and back. All it seems to reach this moment. But I don't yet know why. For thousands of years I have waited, alone here, losing faith. At the time of the binding, 9 guardians were called to serve the pillars, and I was summoned as the 10th guardian, the keeper of the Reaver, the weapon of our salvation. Over time, our race died out, until I alone remained, sustained only by my obligation to you and by my guardianship of the blade. And the other 9? Why did their guardianship not sustain them? I don't know. As our race dwindled,
Janos looks really Pixar compared to the rest of the game.
I have watched over the centuries as our history faded into myth and finally receded altogether. The humans have forgotten us entirely and claimed the pillars for themselves, wholly ignorant of their true purpose. To them, I am merely a devil, the origin of their vampire plague. Why would the pillars summon human guardians then, if they are meant to be served by vampires? The pillars choose
Look at his
their
wings as
guardians
well.
from birth, Raziel, and vampires are no longer born. This is the crux of our dilemma, and this is the terrible irony. With their vampire purge, the members of the Circle have assaulted the very architects of the pillars they are sworn to protect. They have embarked on a
Vampire
treacherous
fertility
path.
crisis.
With every vampire they kill, the humans are slitting their own throats. They know I'm up here, beyond their reach, and it terrifies them. You can see how they flaunt their kills to torment me. Or perhaps...
Well, I don't want
lure
to
me out.
ruin the party, Janos, but I may have
This
opened the
foolish
door.
notion that destroying me will somehow topple our entire bloodline. Thankfully, we're not that fragile. I've seen them mustering their forces in the village below. Yes. I don't know what they're plotting, but I fear our time may be bitterly short. Mankind seems to have brought you only torment and grief. You must hate them. They fear what they don't understand, and they despise what they fear. But no, I do not hate them. Vorador does.
Janos Audron,
He has
our
suffered much.
enlightened
He
queer
cannot
elder.
forgive them. Should they be forgiven? They don't understand what they're doing. They are simply unenlightened and vulnerable to manipulation. So, it's all true then, what Kain and Vorador have told me. I really am some kind of unholy vampire messiah. Unholy? No. Messiah, perhaps. I don't like that word. It smells of martyrdom.
Oh,
Raziel,
poor
your
Raziel.
role in this world's destiny is more crucial and more benevolent than you've allowed yourself to believe. Your journey will not be easy. Dark powers
What's a vampire's
are
favorite
allied
part of
against you.
sex? Ejaculating.
But I think you already know this. You appear to have been cruelly tested. The
Very
binding
good.
must be secured, Raziel. The pillars are the lock. And the Reaver is the key. Yes. The Reaver is here. Why do I feel nothing? The most formidable weapon ever forged by our swordsmiths. They infused the blade with vampiric energy, empowering the Reaver to drain our enemies of their precious lifeblood. As Janos presented the blade, an inexplicable sense of dread crept over me, more palpable than anything I'd felt before. I was at once horribly repelled by the sword, and yet irresistibly compelled to touch it, to take it up.
Look at him.
Please, take it away from me. I fear you have been followed.
Oh yeah, that'll be me. I left all the blood staircases open. Oopsie poopsie.
You must save yourself, Raziel. Janos! No! My surroundings whirled sickeningly, and I found myself transported safely away from the ambush to an adjacent chamber. Janos had delivered me from the Sarafan, selflessly forfeiting his own safety to preserve my life. And now I feared that my newfound mentor would be slaughtered by the very crusaders I had so recently revered. The irony pierced me, and with dawning
He like
horror,
reacts
I
like he's been
realized
shot.
that I had been duped by Mobius from the beginning. For the Sarafan had simply followed the path I gullibly blazed through this sanctuary, and had arrived bearing Mobius' staff. Thus armed, they had Janos at their mercy. Through the door, I could hear them battling, less than a dozen paces away. But it may as well have been 1,000 miles, for this barrier was sealed by elemental forces I did not possess. It seemed Janos had conveyed me into the heart of the fire shrine. I thought perhaps if I could galvanize the forge and imbue the Reaver in time, I might have a slim chance of saving Janos from his grisly fate.
I mean, this is very funny because this is an extremely short dungeon because they want you to feel like a sense of urgency, like you've got to go and save Janos, but it's still a dungeon, so it takes like much longer than you'd think it would take to disembowel Janos. Mobius played us like a damn fiddle! Give back the Heart of Darkness! That was ours, damn it! Right, I can't remember exactly. We'll just do a quick safety save in case the game crashes. It has happened to me, not playing this game, but I've glitched out of bounds a few times. Do not want to lose my progress. That was fun. I need to get a blood room in... Oh shit! I need to have a blood room installed. What? Ah, damn. So this is a thing that I've noticed with I don't know whether it's this port of the game or it's just the game in general, but sometimes when you press the jump button for a second time, you just do not jump. And it's infuriating. Like, you don't open your wings. There we go. Yeah, Janos Audren. I should have.
Masturbating in a mirror. I bet you didn't see that coming.
Very good. Pun City, huh? Yeah, I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light. Is that the light Reaver, or is it? Yeah, it's the light Reaver. It's not really what I want. Is it? I need the wind. God. Yeah, there's no. I wonder if anyone has ever shipped Raziel with Nightcrawler. What, because they're both blue? Us blue demons, you know, don't have... Oh my god! Pepsi Dog's been reading this book recently about gambling, and they were like, there was this fucking crazy quote from somebody who like designs gambling machines, and they were saying how they'd created like different themed gambling machines to appeal to different demographics, and they said like, you know, oh, you know, we've got like a matzo ball themed gambling machine to appeal to like Jewish customers, and we've got like a Soul Train themed gambling machine to like African Americans, and it's just like, and then they say something like, oh yeah, but we don't want to be accused of racism like last year with the fortune cookie gambling machine, and it's like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then it gets even crazier. They go, we've also got gambling machines that have braille buttons for blind customers, and you're like, oh, that's pretty good. And they go, oh yeah, and it also plays music by Stevie Wonder. And it's like, wait, what? Do you think blind people only like music by Stevie Wonder? It's fucking like, that's fucking crazy, dog. How do I get down here? I want to get the light. I want to get the wind Reaver. I'm stuck. You. I actually think the game might have glitched out a little bit here, because I can't access the wind Reaver because it's underwater. I thought the blood is meant to drain away, but it's not doing that. Creator of Vampire Survivors used to make slot machines, he said, where he learned in that career to make DS hit all the same neurons and no money involved. Yeah, I've got complex feelings about those kind of games. Like, I think it's good that there are, that they don't like fleece you for like, money, and that they can, hopefully help people who have like a gambling problem, quit the habit. Right, I definitely need the light Reaver for something, so let's grab that. Wouldn't have given it to me if I didn't need it. But yeah, like, at the same time, like, maybe people shouldn't make games that are designed to sort of, like, hack people's brain. Oh, I've got to be shooting that, right? Yeah. Gotta be. There we go. I knew that was meant to happen, I just couldn't remember that I'm supposed to provoke it to happen. Splendid. Poor Janos Audron is getting, like, ripped to shreds in the other room while I'm just fucking about here swimming in his blood room. Raziel, you really must check out the blood room. It's divine. But yeah, like, games like Balatro and Vampire Survivors and stuff, like, they definitely use, gambling-like systems to kind of like, and Balatro even uses the theme of like video poker, to kind of like appeal to something about your brain. But I think a lot of games do. Like the reason why shmups have like scores that are in like the tens and hundreds of thousands of points per. You don't just get 1 point for destroying an enemy. You get like 1,000 points. And the reason they do that is because it hacks part of your brain that is like enjoys that and thinks that like, oh, if 1 point is good, then 1,000 points is 1,000 times gooder. But yeah, there's clearly like a line at which it's like, well, this is sort of like exploiting your brain chemistry. But I find it difficult to get that upset about when games like Vampire Survivors do it, when it's like, yeah, it exploits your brain chemistry, but it's not like ripping you off. Like, it's not like, it's not doing it to fleece you out of money the same way a slot machine is. It's a disturbing normalization of the practice, but like... Robot femboy is so down bad to get his brain hacked he starts playing gacha games. Yeah, I mean, gacha games also are sort of like a bit of a brain hack, and I think that's where, like, I think there's a much more compelling case that these things are really bad for for our brain chemistry and also for our wallets, because they are like very exploitative in ways that are much less. Hang on, I know what I need to do now. I've been a silly Billy. I need to wait for the blood to go back up again. But yeah, like, it's upsetting that like gambling mechanics and like a lot of gambling systems have been so normalized in society. But I find it hard to get too upset about it when it's just like, oh, this game is like really addictive and you want to play it lots. It's like, well, yeah, and that, sure, it's probably not as like meaningful and edifying as like reading a book or whatever, but like, sometimes it's nice to do a little bit of like brainless like meditative task. Like, there's a reason why people play games like solitaire and throwing cards into a hat. not everything sometimes games are just allowed to be an expression of a physical task, or like a repeated, like a system that you just interface with and enjoy doing that. So I don't find games that that are like addictive to play. I don't need to do that. Damn. Right. Grab the thing. Light the fire. Wait. Did my fire go out? Oh, it went out because I went through the blood. Janos must have put in a good lot of warfarin in his blood, it's so thin. Well, I wonder if this is all his blood. Like, isn't this the... he's a vampire, so isn't this like other people's blood that he just sort of keeps in this room when he needs to have a drink? It's a good job. Janos Audrin, yeah, he's got high defense stats. At this point, he's probably just thinking, like, just leave me, Raziel, I'd rather just die. Right, do not go through the blood. Oh, the camera is not helping me. What? What? I went through a blood. Yeah, the camera just like, decided to start turning round fully then, and it's like... It's maddening to me that, video game cameras have not gotten all that much better in like the however many years since this game came out. Like it tilts down so that you won't like God. On God, we making it this time. Yes! Yeah. Defiance goes back to, or does what Devil May Cry does, which is have a fixed camera, which I really like that when games do that, when they go, you know what, we've decided, we've gotten people to figure out what's the best way to frame the action, and we're going to take the camera, you don't need to control the camera. We've already got that on lock. Anyway, yeah, that was my mini discussion. Like, I played Vampire Survivors once, and I thought it was really fun, and then I never played it again because I don't really like roguelikes. I just had a really good run where I finished the first level and I thought that was really fun, and I loaded up the second level and died like within minutes, and I was like, that wasn't as fun. Fixed camera mods I've seen for some of the newer Resis have been excellent. Oh. I mean, I think the newer Resi games are just like, they play very differently, so I think trying to have the fixed camera in those might look good, but it probably makes the game a much more obnoxious to play.
And forge the blade with elemental fire. With the Reaver thus imbued, I was now armed to unlock the elemental barrier and rescue Janos from his executioners.
Keep getting Vampire Survivor with Vampire Savior and getting confused. Vampire Savior? That sounds familiar, but my mind's drawing a blank on it. The Darkstalkers, right? Yeah, Darkstalkers. Thought, yeah, I knew I recognized the name. Anyway, hi Janos. Who's that?
Hold him!
Look at his black heart. How it still beats.
Look at his lips.
The fiend intends to bury us alive. Raziel, we must get out of here.
Remember the sword!
Yeah, don't put your hand there.
Forgive me. I'm sorry. I failed you.
No, Razia. Perhaps this was my true purpose. Simply to save your life this once.
While I have taken yours.
Embrace your destiny, Razia. You must reclaim the Reaver. It was forged for you and you alone. Without it, there is no hope.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light. I couldn't help myself.
As I backed away from Janos's body, I was overwhelmed by a sense of self-loathing so deep I could barely contain it. In that instant, I rejected all that I ever was and embraced the role Janos had safeguarded for me so patiently throughout the centuries. I knew then what I had to do, the task for which I was uniquely prepared. I would pursue the Sarafan dogs to their loathsome fortress and avenge Janos Audrin's murder. Mobius would pay dearly for his treachery, and my Sarafan brethren would reap the horrors they had sown. I would retake the stolen Reaver, which was rightfully mine. And finally, when all these debts had been paid, I would reclaim Janos Audrin's heart from their filthy, unworthy hands. If the heart was truly imbued with the power to restore vampiric unlife, its highest purpose was clear to me. I would restore the heart to Janos, and thus undo the vile crime committed by my abominable former self.
Raziel is like now fully like rejecting his previous life as like a Straggart. One thing I especially love about Legacy of Kain games is they're all chapters of one big story, not a bunch of one-shot stories, little bearing on each other like a lot of game series. Yeah, you know, it all builds this narrative. Like even Blood Omen, you know, I watched Pepsi Dog play it. It's a little bit too ropey for my taste.
Expecting you, little Raziel.
Little Raziel.
So, these demonic pests were not merely the product of Nosgoth's corrupted future, for here they were, hurtling back over 5 centuries to pursue me. These creatures, I suspected, were minions of the unseen forces that had hoped to control me. This was the tangible expression of their displeasure. These demons were unleashed as the penalty.
What's with the green smoke? I would love to know. But yeah, we thought these like demons were products of the fact that in the future all of Nosgoth is doomed because of the destruction of the pillars. But it turns out these demons are actually they're like these time traveling things that they pursued me here to make sure that I fulfill my destiny. They're part of like whatever force is trying to manipulate Raziel. Yeah, I still don't know what the green smoke means. They just like they smell bad. Yeah, let's go with that.
You really think you can save Nosgoth? Let me enlighten you, poor Raziel.
Little Raziel. Oh, there's another one over. It's just chilling out over here. Nice. Yeah, these guys just have like stink lines coming off them. Hi there, Silk. Can't stay long. I hope vampires penetrate each other soon. Well, I can't remember what happens at the end of this one, but I do remember the cutscene being really good. I can't remember if there's any penetration, though. But, yeah, I hope you are having a lovely day, Silk. Thank you very much for swinging by. I'm going to be an annoying streamer as well and ask if everyone's still watching. Can you refresh your browser to let Twitch know that you're still watching? That would be a massive help to me. Hi there, Lavender. Why can't I get through the door? I'm going to leave. I'm bored. Is there like an... Oh, there's another demon here. Oh, fight each other, not me!
Why couldn't the vampire get his girlfriend pregnant? He couldn't come inside without an invitation.
That one... I don't know about that one. Refreshed. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I don't know whether it's me being like kind of paranoid, but from what I've seen, Twitch like stops considering you a viewer if you are like just watching and you don't interact for a long enough time. But even if you are chatting, sometimes it still sort of like, I don't know, it like ignores you. So just refreshing it as a way to let it know, let Twitch know you're still there. Oh, what a feast! Your count just jumped from 9 to 15. Exactly. See, that's how that's how it works. Like if you don't refresh, it doesn't it doesn't count you watching. It's like, even though you are, and even if you're chatting.
Closer, Raziel.
I actually need to get back to the physical realm because I'll be able to do more damage to him. do I get back to? What? There's no... This is actually pretty bad, like, if he kills me... Oh, there we go, he's gone. Oh, come on. Scintillating combat. Social media algorithms don't make sense anymore. Yeah, Twitter's gotten really bad. Like, I've lost 5,000 followers over the last, like, month on Twitter. I think it's cut partially because they're getting rid of, like, old accounts that aren't active, and that's, like, fair enough, but, like, I don't like seeing my number go down. But yeah, like, you know, the algorithm that determines, like, how much reach you get has been changed as well, so, like... How do I get back to the physical realm? Oh, it's up here. Twitter followers should be calculated like shmup scores. Yeah, you know, I think every time you get a follow, it should just increment the count, and every time you lose a follow, you should just keep the count. I had 100,000 followers on Instagram in the past 2 years, and I've fallen to 93,000. Womp womp. Yeah, it's crazy, right? I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but it seems to be mostly targeting, like, queer content creators. And, like, Han, I know that, like, will resonate with you as well. It's like, it does feel like, yeah, queer creators are just massively deboosted. Or the Merle fam famous. My sister is much more successful at social media than I am. Blue Sky is dying. Blue Sky is fucking, like, every time I go onto that website, there seems to be some new bug with it at the moment. Like, today I logged in and I went to my notifications and they were completely empty with just a big red banner at the top saying forbidden. And I was like, what do you mean forbidden? Can I not see my own notifications? It fixed itself after a little while, but it's like just falling to pieces. But yeah, Han, we should do some kind of social media cross-posting. That would be fun.
You shall not pass.
You shall not pass. We'll see about that. Oh look, I can pass. Every time I post a video of my girlfriend featured, my followers go down, but I find it just funny. Yeah, it is the trash taking themselves out. I was told by some people in the VTubing sphere, like, oh, don't let on that you have a boyfriend. Don't let on that you know. And I'm just like, well, honestly, like, you know, I don't want to have to, like, hide myself from my own audience. You know, I'd rather just be myself than, you know, try and, like, deceive people just for, like, extra clout or whatever. But yeah, like, it is kind of wild, like, how you already stream. Well, exactly, you know, like, I stream with him every week, so, you know, the idea of, like, hiding that I have a boyfriend is just, like, impractical to begin with, but I wouldn't want to do it anyway. Yeah, I only want people who accept me as for me and like, who are chill and, you know. Siblings Call of Duty stream. Yeah, we should do that. Han, I'd need you to get Discord, but you could appear. You could, yeah, we could play some Call of Duty on stream sometime. That'd be amusing, an amusing thing to do, I think. This is my committed live-in roommate, Pepsi Dog. Yeah, this is my bro. We couldn't afford 2 beds, so we sleep in the same bed, and we cuddle for warmth, because, again, we don't want to, waste money on central heating. But, totally no homo, bro. We're about to get an incredible bratty Raziel moment, by the way, so prepare to enjoy this cutscene. Hello, Elder God, you son of a bitch.
You have failed me, Raziel.
I wonder, Old One, did you truly resurrect me, or were you simply there when I awakened from my torment in the abyss? I suspect you found me merely convenient, dropped in your lair by Kain, indestructible for some reason, a durable and gullible tool for you to manipulate. This one thing I readily admit. I have been used by others time and again, but always I seem to stray from their path. What is it about me, demon, that makes me such an unreliable instrument? Why do I survive one trial after another, on and on, in an endless succession of humiliating deaths and resurrections? It seems there is much more to my destiny and my history than I know. Perhaps more than you know as well.
Elder God has nothing to say about that. I just love, the catty energy of that scene. Did you truly resurrect me, or were you simply there when I awoke? Yeah, I love the way right-wingers now have just decided that everything they don't like is woke. Is it just me, or is it every 5 to 10 years they come up with a new fucking word for just being a liberal that they or being left-wing that they don't like? It's it's political correctness, it's DEI, it's social justice, it's woke, it's every 10 years and what it comes down to, it's the same stuff they hate, and it's just being left-wing, and they act like it's this massive problem and it's running out of control, and it's they just don't like people being left-wing. That's what it is. They don't like people being you know what, racism is shit. Being gay is fine. They don't like that, so they have to come up with these words for it every 10 years to just mask the fact that what they're really, the only idea they really have is that they just hate minorities. In the 2030s, they're going to use some new word invented by 4chan or Clavicular, probably. There are also right-wingers who think it's gay to wipe your ass.
He thinks he can change his destiny. What a fool.
There's a trophy for beating these guys in under a minute. Erst. There we go. I already got the trophy, but it's like the game doesn't remember how strong the Soul Reaver is. clavicular overdosed on stream the other day. Jesus Christ. I have a religious calling to make everyone as gay as possible. Yeah, you know, like, that's the thing. Like, if they're gonna call us, like, you know, the LGBTQIA plus cult, it's like, yeah, okay, sure. We're a cult. Now what? They think, like, oh, if I call you a cult, that means it's okay for me to destroy you. Yeah, you know, you're not wrong. You're spitting, Sib. The world would be a better place. The world would certainly be a lot more chill, that's for sure. Like, yeah, look at all these religious freaks around me trying to kill me because I'm a vampire. There's one, kill him. Go back to hell, demon. Like, Jesus Christ, it's like walking down the street in Britain. Well, they don't call it vamping for nothing, do they? I do not. Where can I get the fire reed? Over there. Okay. Controller battery low. Yeah, I reckon I can complete the game before my controller runs out of battery. Maybe? I don't know, actually. I'm being lazy. I can just plug it in. The cable's right here. Okay. What's a punishment if you don't? Well, I've neatly avoided it now. Lesser harassed of a community because Gammon think we're just a fetish to them. I mean, yeah, I feel like, you know, yeah, obviously I don't want to talk over your experiences, but, you know, from what we've discussed in the past, it's like, you know, they are really nasty as soon as you make it clear that, like, actually you're not, you know, you're not sexually available, you know, to men. But before then, they're sort of like, you know, they try to be all sort of buddy-buddy. Whereas if you're any other form of, like, queer, immediately just people are just hostile to you out the gate. They don't even pretend. Not that, you know, being objectified is, like, a cool thing and that it feels any better. It feels a hell of a lot worse in a lot of ways, but... yeah, when you ask, like, right-wingers, like, what they don't like about queerness, oftentimes it's very focused on, you know, male effeminacy and the perceived male effeminacy of being gay. Fuck off. Ow. There we go. I'm only cool with being objectified by people who aren't doing it for straight reasons. Yeah, exactly. Like, the minute we reject, they get hostile, but other communities get harassed from the get-go. My girlfriend gets more harassed. Yeah, you know, that's another thing as well. Like, you know, any lesbian who doesn't sort of present in you know, or like, you know, leans into any kind of masculine presentation gets sort of like demonized and treated, you know, a lot worse. Yeah, I'm really sorry that you know, you and your partner have to put up with that. You and your girlfriend. Seize him! Yeah, everyone's gangster until I run up on you with a Soul Reaver. Which door was I supposed to go in through? I always get, "You don't look gay." Oh my god, what a barbed comment that is. I'll take the harassment. Yeah, if anyone ever said to me like, "Oh, you don't look queer" or something, I'd be like, "You fucking wash your mouth out."
Reaver suspiciously laid across my path. Again, I sensed nothing of that temporal distortion, the peculiar sense of displacement I had felt when I encountered the Reaver in William's chapel. Cornered here with the blade, I suffered the same nameless dread that I had experienced when Janos first presented the Reaver to me. I felt at once repelled by the blade, and yet overwhelmingly compelled.
This is exactly the same dialogue from Janos Ordren's Stronghold.
So, Raziel, here we are, finally. You have no choice but to confront me now. And I am not so foolish as I've let you believe. We have business to conclude.
You knew I would lead the Sarafan to Janos, you vile bastard. You
Vile
orchestrated
bastard.
my every move. My destiny is an amusement to you.
It was fun while it lasted. I think not, Raziel. Malek,
Raziel.
do not let this creature leave. He poses a danger to the circle. Poor, deluded Raziel. Did you somehow imagine you had the guile to change history on me? I'm the time streamer. I knew your every intention before you did, you imbecile.
Mobius, there is trouble within. The circle is under
Hold
attack.
fast, Malik. This one is the real danger to us.
What are you trying to concoct here, Mobius?
You toxic creature.
You
Did
toxic
you imagine
creature.
I'd simply allow you to run loose, corrupting everything you encounter?
I admit that I've underestimated you to this point, Mobius. It's a mistake I won't repeat.
Wrong again, Raziel. Now, Malik, bolt the door.
Bolt the door. Raziel cancelled for being toxic.
Disable my wraith blade. Mobius effectively disarmed me, leaving me with only one choice of weapon. And yet I confess, it was not the lack of options, but blind rage that made me take up the Reaver. In my fury, it felt as though my hand had acted of its own will. And now, that same hand clutched the hilt with unyielding strength, and I felt a constrained tingling, a remote but palpable sense of longing, as the disabled Wraithblade tried vainly to embrace its physical twin.
New weapon. Yeah, we now actually cannot put the Reaver down.
Now that I had taken it up, the Reaver and I were inescapably joined. The harder I tried to release the blade, the more tightly my hand gripped the hilt, as if possessed of its own will.
I was just catching up on chat. Kim's your gay accessory. Yeah, deeply insulting. Yeah, it gets to the point where you're just like, I'm gonna wear a rainbow lanyard. I'm gonna wear a big pin badge. The Reaver and I were inescapably joined. Oh, Raziel, if only you knew. Here's another great cutscene.
Come to take your revenge, demon.
Back to hell with you!
I recognize these two as my former brethren, in life as Sarafan, and in unlife as Kain's vampire sons. Melchiah and Zephon, the weakest of Kain's brood. These bastards had no idea what future lay in store for them, how they would become the very thing they so despised.
The Reaver hummed with ravenous anticipation. Janos had called it a vampiric blade, endowed with the power to drain its victims of their lifeblood. I was eager to see what the Reaver would do to these two.
Ooh, yeah, I should make, So this is another one of these fights that's just like, you run around and you try and stab them in the back. But yeah, now we find out what killed Melchiah and Zephon. It was me. This is honestly, like, this looks stupid, but this is the best way to do this fight. Yeah, I'd like to make some merch of my avatar. The model I use, I don't have rights to monetize it. So I can't make acrylic keyrings, but if Han, we should have a chat on Insta or something. Right, he's down. Because yeah, if you draw my avatar for me, then yeah, I could make like acrylic keyrings and sell those.
As Melchiah and Zephon fell before my blade, I felt the Reaver's bloodthirst as keenly as I ever had when I was still a vampire. I could sense the boundary between us dissolving. The Reaver was consumed with my rage, and I was intoxicated by its bloodlust. The blade had a vitalizing effect on me. My physical energy no longer decayed over time, and the wounds inflicted by my foes healed almost instantly. The Reaver had made me invincible.
But yeah, like, yeah, Han, if you design something for me, I mean, obviously I'd want to pay you a commission cost, but also, yeah, if I were to sell those kind of things, we could split the proceeds. I mean, I don't know how many people are going to want to buy a little acrylic stand of I mean, I want one of me. I would love it. I think that would be extremely fun. Yeah, we'll have a chat about it. That'd be very fun. I'd buy a little Merle. Ah. I'd love to get on like an acrylic like sheet or like a clear sheet, a little like, my art of my avatar, so that I could go places and like take pictures and hold the clear acrylic sheet. It'd be clear with just my avatar on it, so it would look like I was, I could like be out and about, like take little pictures of my avatar, like out and about in the world. I think that'd be really cute.
Have you come to reclaim the monster's black heart?
You'll have to get through us first.
My former brethren, Duma and Rahab, confronted me next. This all seemed so elegantly choreographed. Exhilarated by the Reaver, I was drunk with revelations. I could finally appreciate the delicious irony of Kain's blasphemous private joke, and I reveled as I colluded with him across the centuries. For it was I who put these bastards in their tomb, thus providing the corpses for Kain to raise as his vampire sons a millennium from now.
Yeah. Now we understand Kain turning Sarafan priests into vampires. All makes delicious sense. Oh. Ow. 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 This looks so goofy, doesn't it? But this is honestly just the best way to do combat. Ow! Stop! Because look, like... so many of your attacks are like... they're minus on block, and also like... I want to like air juggle him. Oh, whatever. This is a bootstrap or a grandfather paradox. Well, it's not really any kind of paradox. It's just that, you know, the vampires died at a certain point, and it was Raziel from the future that came and killed them. It would cause a paradox if I don't kill them. Well, something else could kill them, I suppose, but... oh. You... there we go. More of an Ouroboros.
Get back to the pit you crawled from, demon.
And here at last was my brother Turel, who along with Duma would bear me into the abyss without questioning Kain's command. So dutiful and righteous, even as a vampire. I guess some habits die hard. The vampire Turel had eluded my vengeance. The Sarafan Turel would not.
Yeah, we never got to fight this guy in Soul Reaver 1. But, you know, he's no different than any of the other Sarafans so far. We run around and we stab him in the back. This is so goofy looking. He's built Ford tough though. I think the stabbing, like the running stab attack, doesn't do very much damage, which is why you have to chip them down like that. Well, we've killed all the other Sarafan. Only one more left, right? We're in for another amazing cutscene between Raziel.
We can end this now. So, you've come to avenge that filthy parasite and reclaim his foul heart. You're a righteous fiend, aren't you? Apparently I am. No, vampire. This is where it ends. But you won't be leaving this room. Now, let's finish this. I'll make it mercifully quick. As you did for Janos? No, that beast had eluded us for far too long. It would have been a shame to end him too quickly. It's ironic, really. The great Janos Ordrin turned out to be no challenge at all. Thanks to you. Did you hear his cowardly screams when I tore that black heart out of his carcass?
Right, and back to the well. This is like Grand Blue Season 1 was just Dash L. I mean, Dash L is still really strong. I wonder if speedrunners use this kind of technique, because it does seem pretty good at Just like stun locking them. It's difficult to do though. There we go, now I've got him in the good cycle. Ah, I fucked it up. Ooh.
I renounce you. And so it ends. My history comes full circle. Sensing its twin, the Wraithblade uncoiled itself from me, and instead wound lovingly around its former self. I felt its grip loosen, and as the blade left me, its absence chilled me more than its presence ever had. A foreboding sense of emptiness and loss stole over me, and a terrible revelation gathered like a storm at the edge of my awareness. With all other foes exhausted, the conjoined blades turned themselves on me, and I realized, finally, why I had sensed nothing when Janos offered me the blade. The Reaver was never forged to be a soul-stealing weapon. The ravenous, soul-devouring entity trapped in the blade was, and always had been, me.
Self-penetration.
The blade was destroyed when Kain tried to strike me down. The Reaver could not devour its own soul. The paradox shattered the blade. So, this was my terrible destiny. Play out this purgatorial cycle for all eternity. I could
Here's
not
trouble.
bear it. Despair overwhelmed me. You. Are you enjoying this game? Don't fight it, Raziel. Give into it. Was this your destiny for me all along?
Kane's just watching him penetrate himself.
I felt myself weakening, unable to hold on any longer. The Reaver was too strong. The compulsion to simply let go, too great. And then, a growing sense of vertigo and the familiar displacement. The paradoxical moment when my twin soul hovered both outside and inside the Reaver blade. This was the instant, the glimmer of temporal distortion Kain had been counting on all along. This was the edge of the coin, the minute flicker of probability upon which Kain had gambled everything.
Now you are free to reclaim your true destiny, Raziel.
Behind Kain's eyes, I could see new memories blooming and dying as history labored to reshuffle itself around this monumental obstruction. And I could see by the dawning horror on his face that perhaps we had strained history too far this time. That by trying to alter my fate, he may have introduced a fatal paradox.
My God. The Hilden. We walked right into their trap. Raziel. Janos must stay dead.
But Kain's warning was lost as I slipped into the spirit realm, too weak to maintain my physical form. And there, waiting for me as always, was the Reaver, the Wraithblade, my own soul, twinned and bound eternally to me. and I realized that I could never escape my terrible destiny. I had merely postponed it. History abhors a paradox.
Oh. What trophy did I just get? Yeah. How's that for an ending? I think that ending is so good. Like, Raziel stabbing his former self while saying, "I renounce you." And then, yeah, this realization that the soul inside the Reaver, you know, has been him all along. Kain realizing he fucked up. Yeah, exactly. He waited for the moment when, you know, Raziel is destined to enter the blade and become the soul inside the Soul Reaver, and then pulls it out of him and stops him from doing it. And then immediately is like, oh shit, we've fucked up history a bit too much this time. We're really in it this time. Yeah, it's so good. I love it. And believe it or not, Legacy of Kain Defiance picks up where this one left off and goes some really cool places with it. I think it's a really compelling sequel, and dare I say, a really compelling conclusion to the series. So I can't wait to start that and to share that with you all. But yes, that was in fact the end of the game. Let's just have a quick look. What? Vampire Champion. What's that trophy? Huh. Go and have a look at what that trophy was. How do I do that again? I'm intrigued. It's got to be here, isn't it? Oh. Complete the game within 6 hours. Oh wow, I was, you know, I accidentally did a speed run. 2.3% of players have earned that trophy. Wow. Nice. I'll take that. I'll take that. Yeah, that was Soul Reaver 2, everyone. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you've had fun. Toxic vampire yaoi always teasing us, leaving us wanting more. Exactly. And I'm gonna follow through with the game's intention there, and I'm gonna leave it till next week before we start Defiance. And I think I'm going to go and start getting ready for some dinner. So I am got a rumbly in my tumbly. I didn't come here for fun. I come here for good times. Well, I'm glad you've gotten something out of it. Yes, Toodle Pipski. I hope you all have a really lovely rest of the week. I will catch you tomorrow for some Tomodachi Life. Really looking forward to that. My face hurt laughing last time we played that, so I'm really looking forward to some more of that. And yeah, Sib, if you're still around, we'll play some Call of Duty later. And everyone else, let's play some fighting games. But yeah, I'll see you all when I see you. Have a good evening. Bye bye.